Cedric Jamie Rutland. I'm a medical doctor in Southern California. I grew up in Northern California, Sacramento, San Francisco, went to medical school at University of Iowa, stayed there for residency, and then I did my fellowship in pulmonary and critical care at KU Med Center in Kansas City. I've been collecting sneakers probably since around 1995, 96 is when I fell in love with that. Probably the 11s, the North Carolina color Jordan 11s. Those were probably the first pair that were actually mine. I got those freshman year of high school, I believe. And then I started to get like the retros when they came out after that, but those are probably my first pair of Jordans. Do I work in my Jordans? I mean, yeah, I wear my Jordans. Like, I will wear them when I'm walking around the hospital. I will wear them when I'm putting in chest tubes. I'll wear them when I'm intubating people. I'll wear them when I'm doing crazy stuff. I remember one story, there was a patient. The bed was very low to the ground. The patient was bleeding out of their mouth, and I had to go into the ER, and I had to help the ER physician intubate this patient. That's where you take a tube and you put the tube in the lung or in this airway here, what we call the trachea. When somebody's bleeding in their mouth, it's such a small area, you can't really see. You really have to know what you're doing, know the anatomy. And I remember I had on like a fresh pair of new kicks that I had bought. And I walk in there, the patient's breathing, and they're like, oh my God, we gotta do, Rutland, can you come help? So I come down, I walk down, and I'm like, all right, relax. Like, let me just get in there and look. And so I had to I took a pillow, put the pillow on the floor, and I had to get on my knees. And I get on my knees, like on one knee and one knee down, and like look in the mouth. And then I found the area and I put the tube in and intubated the patient. The patient lived, the patient was fine, everything was all good after that. But I remember one of the ER techs or whatever, they like look and they're like, damn, you working those kicks? And I'm like, yeah, like you got to. Like, you got kicks. You don't just keep them there. Of course, they're a piece of art, but you gotta wear them. So I wear them. Top 3 Jordans. It's an interesting question because there's top 3 Jordans that you wear, and then there's like top 3 Jordans that you want to look at, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do top 3 Jordans that I want to wear. That's what we're gonna talk about first. Okay, top 3 Jordans that I want to wear. Number 1, the Jordan 3s, the cements. Those are the top. You can wear those with anything, all right? Number 2, probably the off-white Jordan 1 Euros, right? The off-white Jordan 1 Euros, all right? And then number 3, and this is a tough one for me, right? This is really, really, really hard for me. Number 3 Jordan to wear for me would be the Jordan 1 Chicago's. You gotta go with an original. You get the Jordan 1 Chicago's, you can wear those anywhere. Now, there's top 3 Jordans to look at, right? Which is an entirely different vision. It's an entirely different thing when you think about it, right? The top 3 Jordans to look at are, without question, the patent leather 11s. That's number 1 to look at. You look at those and you're like, man, those are beautiful. Now, when you put them on, they feel like boots, so you don't like to wear them. But when you look at them, like, without question, all right? Number 2, in terms of looking at the shoe, right? And what it looks like and the beauty that it represents. For me, number 2 would be, hold on, this is a tough one. The Oregon Duck 5s or the Oregon Duck 4s. That's probably the ones you want to look at the most, just because of the color, the green, the way that it looks. But like 5s and 4s are tough. 4s you can wear pretty much almost with anything, but they're kind of a little bit wide. 5s are just kind of a tough wear with like anything. So that's probably, those are ones that are fun to look at because of that color. And then the number 3, one that you just want to look at, honestly, are probably the Jordan 6s. Like, I love the Jordan 6s, the way that they look. I never wear them, but the way that they look, I love them. All right, so Jordans that I don't have that I want? Now, this is an interesting question because when you actually really think about the question, all the Jordans that I want, I will get, right? And I have them. But there's a couple of pairs that are a little bit too much that I just haven't really had the balls to buy yet. I like the Igloo Jordan 1s. They have like this color here and white and black. Like those are fire. Also there's pink ones that are very similar. They're like pink and white and black. I want those as well. And I actually think I already pre-ordered them from Today Kicks, who takes forever to deliver any shoe, by the way. But I did order those. But those are probably the ones that I want the most. I mean, the Travis Scotts I have, clearly, you can see them behind me. The Off-White Chicagos, which I wanted forever, I recently got maybe within the last 6 to 8 months. So I have those. But in terms of the ones that I don't have, it would be those. And it's always a Jordan 1 colorway that's just fire. The black and white Jordan 1 colorway that Kevin Hart wears, I want those too. If I could design my own pair of Jordans, what would they look like? So here is the answer to that question. I'm a high contrast guy. I like to have a high contrast. So I know for a fact that the color that I would choose would be like black and white. I'm like almost 100% certain of that. My favorite looks in terms of Jordan, right, and the way that the shoe is actually constructed and how it looks on the foot when you wear it with like anything, are the Jordan 1, which you can wear with a suit, you can wear with a tuxedo, you can wear with regular clothes, and the Jordan 3. And I appreciate the Jordan 3 because you can almost do the same thing. You can wear it with a suit, you can wear it with a tuxedo. So if I had to design my own shoe, and I have designed my own Jordan 1, that's how, those are the two designs that I would stick with. I would stick with the 3 design or the 1 design. Now the shoe surgeon designed the 1 for me that I kind of selected in terms of colorway and what I wanted, right? I designed this black and white Jordan 1 that looked like the Travis Scott with the backwards swoosh and the cactus jack and that very like crocodile suede on it. So we did that. He made the shoe. I just had input in terms of what it looked like. You know, the sneaker culture is interesting. You know, back in the day, it was kind of like you would just buy some sneakers, no big deal. They come out, you go to Foot Locker, you get them. Yeah, occasionally people will get shot. Occasionally people will get beat up for their sneakers. I got beat up for my sneakers back in the day. Like I had a gun pulled out on me when I had the pennies on, right? I had the Foamposite pennies on. I was walking from Hometown Buffet to Hometown Buffet in Elk Grove, California, before it was like all developed. And we walked, the gun pulled out, they took the Foamposites. That was that. That really started the whole sneaker collection. So, and the inspiration there. So for me, the culture has just gotten bigger, more mainstream, broad. But I think there's a lot of, I hesitate to use the word cheating, but I just feel like all these bots and all these people being able to buy like all the kicks and resell them at a higher price. I get it, like it's a business and you want to make your money. I get it, but like, I don't know, like there's something underlying there that doesn't sit well with me. Even though I appreciate their efforts in buying it, there's something that just doesn't sit well with me. But now you've got females, you got males, you got all kinds of people in the sneaker community, and you got people doing their own customs. You got people like making their own colors, choosing their own selection. So the sneaker culture has grown, but I feel like it's a lot easier to be a sneakerhead these days than it was back then. So anybody can be a sneakerhead for a certain amount of time. So you want to go for those when you're a true sneakerhead. You want to go for those exclusive ones that nobody else has. You don't have to have this big ass collection. You might have like 100 pairs of sneakers, right? Which isn't a big ass collection, but 30 of your sneakers, like literally nobody else has. And that's what I hope mine is. Jordan 3s or Jordan 1. So the most expensive Jordans I probably have are probably ones from Shoe Surgeon, which are like $5,000, right? Or the Off-White Chicagos or the Dior's, which are also like up there at $5,000, something like that. It's like the most expensive, right? But then there's most expensive, like the most I've spent on a shoe, and then there's most I've made from buying a shoe, right? And so that's also, you know, an investment way in which you've done something. Like I think I bought a pair of Off-White Jordan 1s for like $600 when they first came out, maybe $800, something like that. And now they're worth like $5,000, right? So you can make a lot of money Like the Travis Scotts that I bought for retail, they're now like $4,200. So you can make some money from it too. I'm never gonna sell them, but you know, it allows my wife to feel better about my collection when I tell her it's an investment. The newest pair of Jordans that I've gotten have been my Travis Scotts, right? The low top and the high top. And I got a bunch of Travis Scotts. I now have a guy that helps me get my sneakers. But those were the newest pair that I got, which are absolutely sick. Some people don't like the colorway. Some people like criticize it, but it's rare that you're gonna have Fragment, Travis Scott, and Nike like make something. So when you have the opportunity to go get it, you go get it. The color is just gonna be more and more fire as time goes on. You know, I don't think I would ever sell my collection because for me, each sneaker tends to represent a different part of my life, a different time of my life. I can remember like what I was going through when I first got those sneakers. I can remember the lessons that I learned when I first walked in those sneakers. And that's just something that is very, it's something you can't really buy. So for me, like when I look at, for example, the Foamposites, right? The first Foamposites in blue, the pennies. I think of that time when, you know, I almost died because of the sneakers, right? When I look at the Off-White Chicagos, I think about how patient I was in trying to go get them, right? And finally getting them. When I look at, you know, my Travis Scotts, I think about, you know, when I look at that collaboration between Travis Scott and Fragment and Nike, I think about myself and how I collaborate with not only, you know, pharmaceutical companies and helping with education, but I also collaborate with production companies and helping create, you know, content that's educational to people. When I am collecting sneakers and looking at sneakers, I know that sometimes me being a sneakerhead may actually inspire kids who look like me, who are younger than me, to be what I am, which is a physician. And that's something that's important to me. And if I just let go of my sneakers, I feel like I'd be letting go a little bit of myself. With that being said, if I was out of money, I didn't have any money, and this is what I had to be able to make money and support my family, I would do it in a heartbeat, but that's just not the case. I appreciate you guys being here with me on this wonderful Sunday afternoon, taking a look at the sneakers in my life and what these sneakers mean to me. But I gotta get to studying. My man is sitting on my desk right now, so I need to clear off all this and I gotta get to reading and continue to contribute in a positive way to the medical society. So